Okay, here we go. I've done a bit of preparatory work. I've done a little bit already. I've put that barrel on just because I didn't want to be videoing and all the sealer going off. So I put that on. But it's basically the same scenario as this. You need your ring compressor tool. Don't try and do it without. You'll snap the rings. It's a waste of time. So that basically, one gap's there, staggered, and then the other gap on the O-rings is staggered as well. Put that on. You can use the slack. You want to get the right size that just squeezes it nice. If it's a bit slack, you can end up with the ring sticking up a bit. Drizzle a bit of oil in the ring gaps down there. You want a little pot like this. Here's one I prepared earlier. Push rod tubes. Put the seals on. Dip your finger in the pot. Smear of oil around each end. Important that, because it helps them slide around. Those new push rod tubes you get, they're not up to much. I'll show you when I tighten them up, you'll see that they kind of go left or right and they don't concertina as they should. So you've just got to watch that as you tighten them up. You can put a socket down them, and as you're tightening it up, just tweak them a bit. You just want them to be nice and straight, but they do go on the piss a little bit, and if they do, you'll find that the seal can sometimes pop out the side. I've never had it happen, ever, but you never used to have this problem with push rod tubes. They used to just concertina pretty well, you know, dead straight and be no problem. I'll show you this. So that's the bottom of the barrel. So I put a beader sealer in there, paper gasket, like we spoke about before. If you just try and use a paper gasket, it will leak. You can message me and say you shouldn't use a sealer on here. You can message me what you like. I know it will leak if I don't do this. Or the brand new Recons you get from Heritage, they've all got seal around here as well. Maybe not the same. This is just high temp silicone. Right, so the barrel's ready. Bear in mind, according to the other video as you saw, these are already lapped in. You want a nice little oil can like this, does help a little bit. You know, get a bit of oil in there, just smear it around with your hand, just so you've got something going off in there. Plastic mallet or rubber mallet, not a normal hammer. Just feed that on like so. Just so it's on the studs, then lift the piston up till it's just, there we go. Are you playing? Yep. I think that's it. Okay. And then basically, just tap away. The end of the barrel has got like a bevel on, so it will pull the rings in as you hit it, but if it gets stuck, or you hear a big click or something, it's worth taking it off and just checking. I've never broke a ring, never had a problem. Ring compressor's a bit of a bugger to get out sometimes. You just got to feed it round. These are the best ones. You get some way you like squeeze it and whatever. I have seen some people do it where they put the piston in the barrel and then put the pin through and put the circlip in, put it on as one lot. I can see that working. I don't do it like that, but you know, I'm not saying it's any quicker or any worse. It's just some people do it like that. So now once this is up, you don't want the piston at the top necessarily, just in case any oil loses that. So I normally wind it down a little bit. Just got to make sure they're nice and seated and pushed down, which they are. Next thing you mustn't forget about is your deflector plate. You can, if you're really clever, you can bend them and cut bits off them and push them in afterwards and put them on with MIG wire, but you know, you shouldn't need to really. It just goes in between the middle studs. It'll get it in the studs at the back. You should do. That's it. Make sure it's seated nice. So that's deflector plating. Right. What I normally do is try and turn you this way a bit. Yeah. Just wipe out a bit of that oil out there. There's plenty of oil in the bores and on the piston, so it'll be fine. Just give that a wipe. Just make sure there's no big bits of grit or residue on there. So that's that side of things sorted. Now my head, kicking the stand, that's no good, is it? So my head is here, as you can see, cleaned up, ready to go. Somebody has obviously chiselled the shit out of that, but it's not affected the surface where the barrel sits, but it's probably because the barrel was stuck in the head. They do sometimes really get stuck and you have to smash the barrel to get it out of the head. So that just goes on like so. So no head gasket in there. The 2 litres do have an aluminium gasket, but these don't, so that's why you lap the barrels in. So you want that nearly on, so you get the barrels just go in the head. Then it's push rod time. So I think, just touch it forward. This is a bit where it all goes wrong and it falls on the floor. Just touch it forward a bit. It's going to be easier because I can get underneath. So you basically put the push rod in there. You still seeing me? Yeah. So you put the push rod in the sort of engine side and then just ease the head back until it goes in the head and just sit it there. You do that with all of them. It can be a bit tricky, they can fall out, but they basically will just sit there. Okay. So what I normally do is give them a bit of a twizzle, put your hand, just give it a bit of, so one of them is, that's it, I thought one of them was, yeah, see one of them's just come out a little bit, that's it. So when you put pressure on it, they should just all just turn a little bit, but they shouldn't be loose. Some might be tighter than others. So once you're happy with that, then the next stage, I've already cleaned them up. It's ideal to get everything ready first. These bolts here, see if you can see that. Yeah. So the 4 head bolts that are inside the head, you want to put a bit of sealer underneath the washer. Because what happens is you can get oil go underneath the washer, run down the stud and drip out the bottom, and you'll think it's push rod tube oil seals, but it's not. So a little ring of sealer just around those studs. I've had a few where you get like a drip and you think it's a push rod tube seal, and it's not, it's coming off that stud. Because obviously the washers, even though they're tight, they can be slightly distorted. So you get a little bit of oil coming out. Right. So yeah, it's best to get all your washers. I normally put them on the way they came off as well. Not that because sometimes they're a bit concaved. So just get all your nuts on. This is the point where you've just got to be careful you don't drop out in there. It's, you know, you shouldn't do because you've only got enough nuts and washers to do the head. But once this is tightened up, bung a rag in there. It's very easy for a stray bolt or washer to be floating about somewhere or come off the end of a magnetic light. I've had that before. And you know, you don't realise it's stuck to the bottom of it and it just catch and drop off. And before you put the manifold on, when this is all bolted on, before you put the manifold on, anything, if the heads are off, just put a magnet in there. Have a lock with a light and put a magnet in there, just in case. Right. nice full nuts. So there's a couple of stages of tightening these up, but basically the first stage, you just do these two up, basically. I think it says 7 foot-pounds, but I'll just keep doing it up evenly until it's pulled most of the way in, and just keep looking at the push-rod tubes. And if we need to give them a bit of a tweak, we'll give them a bit of tweak. You can get away with them being a bit bent. I have seen engines with them bent and they're not leaking, but they just want to be as square as you can. Just be aware that if you do drop these washers off and they go down there, they're a bastard. You might have to take the head off again to shake it to get them out. So just got all these nuts on. That's it, all these nuts on. Yeah. Right, now I have got a ratchet somewhere. So you get a bit of sealer on the end of your socket, but yeah, it's not the end of the world. So just nip them up or till they're pulling, till they're doing something. Extension. Bear with me 1 minute. Okay. Let's just have a look. See if the push-rod tubes are doing what they're meant to do. You just check they're all seated. Look a long ways and kind of look upside down. Yeah, they all look good. You just want them to look parallel with each other, really. I don't know why some of them do it, some of them go funny and some don't. So you get to a point where these are kind of hand tight. So now's the point of checking again, just to make sure they're parallel. Yeah, they're looking nice, they are. Yeah. Maybe I've got a set that aren't shit. Yeah, they look nice and parallel. Push-rod tube seals don't look like they're oozing out anywhere. Let's have a quick look this end. Yeah, you can just tweak the ends so you can see that the sort of end of the push-rod tube is sort of off-centered to the hole, which they will be because they're kind of at an angle, but I just tend to tweak them a bit so it's in the middle. Then you find that the push-rod tube seal is sat kind of nice and in the middle, which is what you want. So, I'll give all these a little bit of a nip up. I mean, you're meant to do them up by 7 foot-pounds at a time, but you'll be forever winding, you know. You're not be winding these in with a torque wrench, so just nip all these up now. And then I'll just show you the book. I do look at the book. I've done loads of engines, but I think it's just a habit. I tend to look at the book, but basically you tighten them up diagonally, evenly, and move around. But I'll just show you the book. So, if you haven't got one of these books, you can freeze this frame, and you can see. So that's the first order, and the first stage is 7 foot-pounds. That's the second order, and it's 23 foot-pounds. I normally do them to 30, to be honest. Again, we'll say no, you shouldn't do that, but just move your back so you can see a bit better. But that's what I do. I always have to. Because you do sometimes get these studs pull out. And if they do pull out, you want to be sure they're not pulling out. If they do pull out, you've got to take it all up to bits again. So that's number 1. Number 2. So you can see you kind of just move around. Number 3, and this is at 7 foot-pounds. 4. Lost my ratchet. 5. 6. Wrong. 8. Keep moving your weight, huh? I'm no David Bailey, am I? Right, so they're all torqued at 7 foot-pounds. So we'll go to, like I say, it says 23, but I normally do them to 30. Because I'm a naughty man. But better than doing it with no torque wrench. Okay. So, let's see. We'll focus. You know, I don't know. Trust me, it's 30 foot-pounds. That's what it's on. So the order of that one is slightly different. So it's I normally do like 2 or 3 clicks on each one, and I will go round again. Okay, that's number 2. And then number 3. Number 3. 4. Got you on a gearbox stand and I keep hitting it. No, you're messing with me now because I forgot where I was. Don't matter, you can always start again and, you know. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Just keep going around until they all click. There we go. Here presto. I do need to get one of those. The engine has actually got oil pressure, temperature, not pressure, sorry, pressure and oil light. It's got a pressure gauge in the car, so I need to get one of them dual fixing ones. But that's basically it. Oh, I did drill all these studs out because they were all fucked. It's worth making sure them studs are good while the head's off. If you're any doubt at all about them, if they're rusty or the threads are slightly worn, even if you've got to cut them off like I did and have to drill and tap them or get somebody to do it, do it. It's so much easier with the head in a bench than in the car. You can do them in the car. I can do them in the car and I have no problem doing them in the car, but it's so much easier doing them on a bench, and you're going to save yourself a whole heap of headache and time. Don't think, oh, I can't be bothered, I want to get it together, and just rush it. You know, if the thread's good at the end and it's rusty there, don't think, oh, the nut's going to be there and that's rusty, because it's to be a weak stud, it will snap, or the threads will pull. It's just a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, and when you've done this, you can go, I've already had a look, but you can go underneath and have a look and just make sure your pusher tube seals aren't popping out or anything. And you can go back the next day and have a look, because sometimes they do. I've had recons come under warranty where they've got a leak and the pusher tube seals popped out one side. So it's obviously under tension or stress, and it's kind of, the pusher tube's a bit squiff, and then it's decided to jump out. So some would say, oh, don't put oil on the pusher tube seals, but it helps them sort of move around as it's bedding, as it's moving a bit. So that's basically it, that's one head on. So I'm going to do the same. I could video the other side and tell you exactly the same as what I've told you, but there's no point. Just trying to think what else to, yeah. All you've got to watch is when you torque them up, that they just click and you go round them and you just get it so it all clicks. And if one keeps tightening up, keep going. And watch the stud and mark the stud and see if it's pulling out. And if the stud's pulling out, you take it all to bits. Don't try and think, oh, one stud, it'll be okay. It won't. The head will blow. I've had ones before where one stud's pulled out as I've torqued it up. I've took it apart, replaced, put an insert in, sorted that out, torqued it up again, and then another one has pulled out. I know people who've had it where they've done all one, they've had to do inserts in every single stud. But they're pretty good normally. Normally you can tell if they're going to pull, they do it pretty quickly. And also just make sure that your washers are the nice thick washers, that somebody's not replaced them with like silly M10 ones. They're quite sturdy, thick washers on these. And if they've got the wrong sort of washers, the thinner washers, they'll concave and dip into the head, and they won't kind of tighten up properly, so you won't get the proper torque. That's something that's worth checking. If you're converting a twin port to a single port, you've probably got to swap those studs or cut them down, because I'm pretty sure they're longer on a twin port, if I remember rightly. I can't remember which way around it is. I think they're shorter on a twin port, yeah, because it comes in. But yeah, that's it basically, all done and dusted. If you're enjoying the vids, subscribe. I've tried not to make it too long, but you can't really do this in a short. I like doing the little shorts, but you can't really do this in a short. I shall do the other head, then the next vid will be just building up the engine. So what I'll probably do is just video myself building it up and sort of speed it up. And if there's out I need to stop and explain, I will do. But yeah, that's it basically. One head on. I'll do the other one before I go home. And now's the time to put a rag in there and put some plugs in it. Put a rag in there. Don't drop out in there, you'd be stuffed. And obviously the push rod tubes and rockers go on, they can go on at any time. It's easier to turn it over with those on one side, but I won't. I'll put the other head on and it will still turn off over with the plugs are loose. And then put the rockers on and do the tappets. And when you do the tappets, do them, turn it over a few times, both ways, and then check them again and just double check them, because sometimes things bed in and change. Right, if you're enjoying it, subscribe, give me some likes. Got quite a lot of views. I think you seem to like the shorts better than the longer vids, but you know, if somebody's doing an engine at home and has not done one before, hopefully this helps you sort of on your way to doing it yourself. Maybe one day I'll try and do one blindfolded. I think I probably could. Might not run, but probably could. Right, see you next time.